Have you ever felt so completely alone that even your tears ran dry? If you've ever been abandoned by everyone you trusted, this ancient story will break you open and then put you back together. It's about a woman in a forgotten village, a dying child no one would help, and one desperate night under the stars when she had nothing left but a whisper to a god she was unsure existed. It's about what happens when every door slams shut, when every hand pulls away, when hope itself seems to die. The moment she gave up trying is the moment heaven finally answered. The village was small and forgotten, hidden deep in the mountains of ancient Asia, where morning mist wrapped around rice terraces like a burial shroud. Wooden huts with thatched roofs lined narrow dirt paths. Smoke rose from cooking fires. Life moved slowly here, governed by tradition and superstition. This is where Mei Lan lived, a widow with calloused hands from years of labor, tired eyes that had forgotten how to shine, and hair streaked gray long before its time. Her husband had died suddenly, fever stealing him in just 3 days. Now she existed at the very edge of the village with her young daughter Lian, her only reason to breathe. But in this place, widows were cursed. They brought misfortune. Villagers crossed the street to avoid her shadow. Mothers whispered warnings to their children. Doors closed before she could knock. Mei Lan had become invisible, unwanted, unloved, surviving on scraps of dignity. She had only one light remaining in her darkness, and that was Lian. Then her last light began to flicker. Lian fell violently ill. The fever came first, burning so hot that Mei Lan's hand recoiled when she touched her daughter's forehead. Then came the convulsions, the small body shaking uncontrollably in the night. Lian couldn't eat, couldn't drink. Her eyes rolled back, showing only white. Mei Lan ran through the village at dawn, barefoot, desperate. She pounded on the healer's door until her fists ached. The old woman opened it, saw who stood there, and her face turned to stone. "Your family carries a curse. If your daughter dies under my care, the village will hold me responsible. I cannot help you." The door slammed shut. Mei Lan screamed, begged, clawed at the wood. Silence answered her. She ran to the herbal merchant next. He shook his head without meeting her eyes. "I have nothing for you." The temple monks turned their backs. "We cannot interfere with karma. Her suffering is her destiny." Even her husband's brother, the man who had once called Mei Lan's sister, walked past her as if she was smoke. Every door in the village closed, every single one. In desperation, she sold her last possession, a brass cooking pot her mother had given her, to a passing trader for dried herbs. She brewed them with trembling hands and dripped the tea into Lian's mouth. The fever raged on. Days passed. Lian's lips cracked and turned blue. Her breathing became shallow whispers. She stopped making any sound at all. Now, she was utterly alone. The universe itself seemed to have abandoned her. She had nothing left. No money, no help, no hope. Just a dying daughter and the crushing weight of silence. On the 7th night, Lian stopped responding. Her tiny chest barely rose. Her skin had turned gray. This was the end. Mei Lan knew it in her bones. She wrapped Lian in their only blanket, lifted her weightless body, and walked into the night, past the sleeping village, past the shuttered windows, past the silent temple, all the way to the cliff at the edge of the world, where the valley spread below like a dark ocean and the stars blazed above like scattered fire. She fell to her knees on the cold earth. No tears came, no prayers formed. For the first time in her life, Mei Lan stopped fighting, stopped begging humans who would not listen. She looked up at the infinite sky and whispered into the void, "If there is a God who sees forgotten women like me, I have nothing left to offer you. No incense, no gold, no worthy prayers. Just me and this dying child. Please, if you exist, show me you are real. Show me there is hope." The wind stilled. The night held its breath. And then, she felt it. Not a voice, a presence. Warm and vast, pressing against her soul like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. The crushing loneliness lifted. She was not alone. Deep within her spirit, a knowing settled. "You are seen. You are not forgotten. Trust what I am about to show you." Her eyes drifted to the valley below. Moonlight illuminated a grove of willow trees, their bark shimmering silver in the darkness. A memory stirred, her grandmother's voice by firelight. "The willow weeps, child, but it also heals. When fever burns beyond remedy, its bark can break it." She had dismissed those words as folklore, but what had real medicine offered her? Closed doors and cold hearts. This was the test. Trust a whisper in darkness, or sit here watching her daughter die. Her legs trembled as she rose. "Hold on, little one." And she took the first step down. The descent nearly broke her. Loose stones shifted. Roots snagged her ankles. Twice she slipped, catching herself with bleeding hands while clutching Lian. When she stumbled into the grove at dawn, she peeled bark with a sharp stone and began the agonizing climb back up. By the time she reached her hut, the sun had risen. She boiled the bark into bitter tea and dripped it onto Lian's cracked lips. Nothing happened. An hour passed. Her heart shattered again. Then, a cough. Small and weak, but real. Lian swallowed. Mei Lan poured more. By midday, the fever broke. By evening, her daughter's eyes fluttered open, and she whispered, "Mama." Mei Lan wept, not grief, but wonder and gratitude. But the transformation went deeper. The bitterness she carried dissolved. She gathered more willow bark. When another village child fell ill weeks later, she left medicine at their door. No name, no note. The child recovered. Then another family, then another. Slowly, doors began to open. A nod in the marketplace. A whispered thank you. Mei Lan had become what she never imagined. Not a victim, but a healer. Not abandoned, but the one who sees others' pain. She learned the deepest truth. When you have no one but God, God is enough. And when grace saves you, you cannot help but pour it out on others. Here is what Mei Lan's story burns into our souls. When every door closes, when every hand pulls away, God sees you. He hears prayers you cannot even speak. The miracle you need may already be waiting in overlooked places. Ask Him to open your eyes, then move your feet. Even in darkness, even in fear, you are seen, you are not forgotten. If this story touched your heart, type "I am seen" below. Share it with a woman who feels invisible. Subscribe for more stories of hope. Remember, you are not alone. Heaven is watching. Your miracle is closer than you think. Keep walking. Your story is not over yet.